Hello everybody, welcome to 7 Waves of Knowledge channel. Today we're going to tackle something I know a lot of people get a little nervous about, public speaking. Don't worry, I've totally been there. Remember that time I hosted the Oscars? Talk about butterflies. But you know what? Public speaking doesn't have to be scary. In fact, it can be downright fun once you get the hang of it. That's why I'm sharing 7 practical tips that anyone can use to become a more confident and engaging speaker. Whether you're giving a presentation at work, toasting your bestie at their wedding, or just want to feel more comfortable speaking up in meetings, these tips will help you find your voice and rock it. Welcome to today's video, where we'll dive into 7 practical strategies to help you improve your public speaking skills. Whether you're speaking to a small group, presenting in a classroom, or addressing a large audience, these tips will help you speak with more confidence and clarity. All right, let's start with the most important tip, and that's practice. I know, you've heard it a million times, but it's true. Think of it like learning to dance. You wouldn't just show up at the big dance competition without practicing those fancy footwork, right? The same goes for public speaking. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become, and the less you'll sound like you're trying to recite the alphabet backwards while riding a unicycle. Trust me on that one. Now, when I say practice, I mean really practice. Don't just skim through your notes 5 minutes before you're supposed to speak. Find yourself a mirror. You know you love looking at yourself anyway, and just talk, out loud, to your reflection. It might feel a little silly at first, but I promise it works. You'll be able to see your facial expressions, your hand gestures, hopefully they're not too wild, and get a feel for the flow of your speech. If you can rope a friend or family member into being your audience, even better. They can give you feedback and maybe even throw in a laugh or two to boost your confidence. It's like having your own personal laugh track, but without the awkward pauses for applause. And hey, if you really want to get fancy, you can even record yourself practicing. That way you can watch it back later and see what you liked, and maybe what you'd like to work on a little more. It's like having your own personal highlight reel, but without the pressure of being on live TV. Another great tip is to practice in front of a small group of friends or colleagues. This can help simulate the feeling of speaking to an audience. Take notes on what you observe and make adjustments accordingly. This iterative process will help you refine your delivery. Also, try timing yourself. This ensures you stay within your allotted time and helps you manage your pacing. With consistent practice, you'll find that your confidence grows and the fear of public speaking diminishes. Remember, every great speaker started somewhere. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be delivering speeches like a pro. Tip number 2 is all about knowing your audience. Because just like you wouldn't tell your grandma jokes about TikTok if she's never seen a smartphone, you wouldn't want to give a speech that's totally out of touch with who you're talking to. Think of it this way. Your audience is like a group of friends you're hanging out with. You want to talk about things that interest them, right? Things that will make them laugh, think, or maybe even learn something new. You wouldn't launch into a 20-minute monologue about your stamp collection if they'd rather be talking about the latest superhero movie. So before you start crafting your speech, take some time to get to know your audience. Who are they? What are their interests? What do they care about? What keeps them up at night? Once you have a good understanding of your audience, you can start tailoring your message to resonate with them. Use language they understand, examples they can relate to, and stories that will capture their attention. Remember, it's not just about what you want to say, it's about what your audience wants to hear. Okay, tip number 3 is all about being organized. Now, I know what you're thinking. You want me to be organized? Have you seen my house? And to that, I say, fair enough. But listen, when it comes to public speaking, a little organization can go a long way. Think of your speech like a delicious 3-course meal. You wouldn't just throw all the ingredients into a blender and hope for the best, would you? You'd start with an appetizer, something to whet their appetite and get them excited for what's to come. That's your introduction. It's your chance to grab the audience's attention, introduce your topic, and make them want to hear more. Then comes the main course, the heart of your speech. This is where you dive into your main points, back them up with evidence, and really get your message across. Think of it like the steak and potatoes of your speech, the part that everyone came for. And finally, you finish with dessert, a sweet treat that leaves a lasting impression. That's your conclusion. It's your opportunity to summarize your main points, reiterate your message, and leave the audience with something to think about. So, before you even think about writing your speech, take some time to organize your thoughts. Create an outline, jot down your main points, and think about how you want to connect them. It doesn't have to be fancy, just a roadmap to keep you on track. Remember, the more organized you are, the more confident you'll feel. And confidence is key in delivering a great speech. So, take a deep breath, get your notes in order, and go out there and wow your audience. You've got this. Chapter 4. Visual aids, because sometimes words aren't enough. Tip number 4 is all about visual aids, because let's face it, sometimes words just aren't enough. Especially if you're trying to explain something complicated, like how to fold a fitted sheet or how I managed to stay so youthful. Visual aids can be anything from pictures and videos to charts and graphs. They can help you illustrate your points, make complex information easier to understand, and even add a little bit of pizzazz to your presentation. But here's the thing, you don't want to go overboard with the visuals. Too many bells and whistles can be distracting. Kind of like that time I wore that sparkly jumpsuit on the show. Keep your visuals simple, clear, and relevant to your message. And whatever you do, don't put too much text on your slides. No one wants to read a novel during your presentation, unless that novel is my memoir, then please read away. All right, let's talk about body language. Because even if you're giving the most amazing speech in the world, if you're slouching like a sad puppy dog and avoiding eye contact like you're hiding something, your message is going to get lost in translation. People might not even remember what you said. Think about it. When you watch someone who's confident and engaging, they usually have great body language. Their presence alone can captivate an audience. They stand up straight, make eye contact, and use hand gestures to emphasize their points. These nonverbal cues are crucial in making their message clear and impactful. It's like their body is speaking right along with their words. Their gestures and posture add another layer of meaning to their speech. Now, I'm not saying you need to become a master thespian overnight, but there are a few simple things you can do to improve your body language. First, stand up straight. Good posture can make a world of difference. Imagine there's a string attached to the top of your head pulling you towards the ceiling. This visualization can help you maintain a strong and confident stance. Second, make eye contact. Don't just stare at the back wall like you're hoping to find a hidden escape route. That can make you seem disconnected and uninterested. Look at your audience, connect with them, and let them know you're talking to them. This connection can make your message more personal and engaging. And finally, use hand gestures naturally. These movements can help illustrate your points and keep the audience's attention. Don't be afraid to move your arms and hands to emphasize your points, but try not to overdo it. Balance is key. You don't want to look like you're conducting an orchestra or fighting off a swarm of bees. Keep it natural and in sync with your speech. Okay, let's talk about nerves. Because let's be real, public speaking can be nerve-wracking. I mean, even I get nervous sometimes, and I've been doing this for a while. But here's the thing, nerves are totally normal. In fact, they can even be helpful. They mean you care about what you're doing. The key is to manage those nerves so they don't get the best of you. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to breathe. I know, you're probably thinking, Ellen, I'm already breathing. That's kind of how I'm still alive. But I'm not talking about just regular breathing. I'm talking about deep, intentional breaths that will calm your nerves and center you. Before you go on stage, take a few moments to yourself and just breathe. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. Keep doing this until you feel your heart rate slowing down and your body relaxing. It's like hitting the reset button on your nervous system. You need to hear this if you're a public speaker. All right, my final tip is all about feedback, because even the best public speakers in the world are always looking for ways to improve. And the best way to improve is to get feedback from others. Now, I know asking for feedback can be a little scary. It's like asking your mom to critique your dance moves. You know she loves you, but she's also not afraid to tell you that you look like a flamingo trying to do the Macarena. But trust me, feedback is your friend. It can help you identify your strengths and weaknesses so you can keep getting better and better. So, how do you get feedback? Well, you can ask a friend or family member to watch you practice and give you their honest opinion. Or, if you're feeling brave, you can even ask for feedback from your audience after your speech. Just remember to be open to constructive criticism. Don't take it personally. Instead, use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. And why are there not more people talking about improving public speaking skills? That's it for my 7 tips for improving your public speaking skills. Remember, practice makes progress, so don't be afraid to get out there and start talking. Oh, and one last thing, have fun with it. Public speaking doesn't have to be scary. In fact, it can be a lot of fun once you get the hang of it. So go out there, find your voice, and rock it. I believe in you. So, there you have it. 7 practical tips to help you boost your public speaking skills. Start practicing these, and remember that improvement takes time. If you enjoyed these tips, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.